Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news, and it's an exciting one for us. You know, we got to get through the news pretty fast today. We're going to do our best. I feel like we say that every week, then it ends up being an hour and 50.
It's not the busiest week in the news world either. So.
Correct, it's not the busiest week, and we are actually recording our script, our on-air talking points for the 2025 Ruff Talk VR Gaming Showcase.
Why, yes, we are.
So we have to spiffy up. We have to go look all fancy and nice because, let's be real, I love my creature hat.
I got some work to do.
I love my hair. I love the way I look, but I don't think I'm showcase ready yet. So we have to
black
pamper
tie
up.
without the black tie.
Yes, and we spent a lot of time before the start of this episode game planning on behind the scenes podcast stuff. So we're definitely straight to business today, or at least we'll try our best, as I feel we always do, and then somehow fail on that. But you know, it's serious this time.
So when is this showcase?
The showcase, just under 2 weeks now. The 2025 Ruff Talk VR Gaming Showcase is premiering on April 4th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local conversions to what that comes to. We have daylight savings time.
Cool is that like UK, that's like 6 o'clock. So I mean,
yeah, dude, it's a balanced time worldwide. 10 a.m. PT.
It's pretty. It's
like if you're on the West
pretty
Coast,
well time wise.
Yeah. So if you can catch it, dude, we've had so many great trailers coming in. 20 plus exclusive VR game trailers.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I am pretty stoked.
And
exceeded my expectations.
Some great sponsors that we'll be announcing through the next week.
No GTA.
No GTA.
We spoiled that last week. And we'll continue it so it doesn't have to even get asked. But there's no GTA.
Nothing groundbreaking, earth-shattering, like would shatter the whole IGN and Eurogamer and all of them. Nothing like that, but for the VR gaming fans?
You mean the Nintendo VR release exclusive that we had? But
for be careful with Nintendo. That was 100% a joke.
Oh yeah,
parody.
No, I don't want any troubles with Nintendo. Fucking Mario cops show up.
But if you are a fan of VR gaming,
don't mention of Nintendo.
If you're a fan of VR gaming, this is the showcase for you. You know,
I'll be there.
I'll be there. A lot of your favorite VR game developers are going to be there, so it's going to be an action-packed show.
It's going to be good.
And for you early birds, people that like to show up early.
Which people do.
Yep. We're going to have a little bit of a pre-show with our main show being only trailers that have never been seen before that day. But the reality is, we love the VR industry. We have so many developers we love, and not all of them have capacity to make a brand new trailer for every single event. So there will be some trailers in our pre-show that have been previously seen and are just for people, if they show up early, they have something to see.
You may not have seen all of them as well.
Not everyone's seen every trailer, right? Mm-hmm. So there, maybe for you, the listener specifically, there is something new even in that pre-show, but disclaimer, the pre-show is just to keep people entertained before the main show kicks off at 1 p.m. And the pre-show will be previously existing trailers, but we're in for a good time, man.
We can lock into a pre-show time probably next week.
Yeah, I got to see exactly how many we're going to be using. You know, what time. We don't want to do like this whole like total of like 3 hour stream, right? That's crazy. So we got to also be realistic of what's a appropriate pre-show time.
Yep.
In case somebody's a completionist and they're like, no, I got to get there the second it starts.
But pre-show is,
it's bonus. It's extra.
It's like showing up to the opening act.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it, that's awesome. You might see some good shit. But if you don't, it's not what you paid for.
Well, and you know how it is on the behind the scenes and the come up, 4 or 5 months out. It's like, we're doing this, the hands are sweaty. It's like, let's see who we get involved. And seeing it all come together, the trailers we have, I think it's a better show than last year.
I would agree.
I'm so excited to put it on.
I would hope every time it's a better show than the last time. Because as the industry progresses, so should the...
Last year's main show actually had previously existing trailers as well, too, whereas this year we're doing a main show that is just exclusive trailers.
Yeah, there's realistically no shortage of existing.
Unfortunately, with this year, if we did both together, it would be way too long of a marathon for a main show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it, though. Friday, April 4th, 2025, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And hey, it's never too late to sponsor. We have a couple more sponsorship slots. I wouldn't mind re-recording some lines for a couple new sponsors. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in sponsoring the show, that's still available. Hit us up at Damien@rufftalkvr.com.
And also, we like to promote, if you don't mind me going off course a little.
Go ahead. I have no idea what you're about to say. This is exciting for me.
It's exciting.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's going to come up later about going into Discord. And, we do have a Discord, which we'll
and a
talk
Patreon.
Later. But I believe there's a couple of after parties following the showcase that Amelia
has put together a whole world in Resonite for UPC VR folk.
She got her and NV got an honorable mention for their world.
Yeah, for their award ceremony. They did these migraine glasses. I checked out the world too.
So, if you want to partake in the 2 different times that this is going on,
it goes on later in the day after the showcase.
Yeah, it's almost like they got a North America time and UK time going on. So you're more than welcome to go in there and check out the world. There's going to be fun things to play with.
We should definitely pop in there.
I'm sure there's going to be some snacks,
some virtual snacks.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened, dude?
Amelia's getting good at the world building, dude.
I went to jump into Resonate the other day, and I'm like, oh, it's not. I can't connect to my headset. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm getting the message like, you need to go here and put in this web address and tell it. I'm like, this isn't right. And I remembered it's on everything I do on the PC is on the other headset. And that's the one I turned on last night, and it boop, 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 boop. And this morning I checked that headset and it's fine. Even though it died, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I don't think your headset should matter because I think your Resonite data is saved on your computer.
No, I couldn't connect to the computer.
On your virtual desktop?
Yep. It was like, Spoonelia is not there. When I connect on the other headset, it'll always be like, oh, there's your computer.
I've been having a lot of fights with virtual desktop since I got on version 74.
The headset was being weird. It was doing what it did in Florida. Less the high powered fans.
Ever since I went on version 74, I have both been having trouble connecting to virtual desktop, and I oftentimes have to do a 3 boot cycle. So here's what I mean. I was telling you about this last night. You were flabbergasted. You were like, I never want to deal with, because you kind of dealt with it a little bit.
Twice.
But I've had to, almost every time I turn on my headset, first time I turn it on, I have my controllers. I can use them, but no screens will open. Meaning like, I'm obviously in my pass-through, but I can't open up my menus and open up an app or anything. So then I shut my headset off. I turn it back on. It won't
go into hand tracking mode either, right?
Well, I can do hand tracking mode at that point. But I can't open up any screens, so it doesn't matter. There's nothing I can't open up a game or anything. I could force open it through my phone. You know how you can go in the mobile app and hit open, but then I can't open up the menu
if you don't have hands. Yeah.
Well, no, I have controllers. Okay. In this moment, I have controllers.
Okay.
I turn on again. I can use controllers. I just can't open screens. Is the issues?
Okay.
So I can click, press A, controllers. There's just nothing to click on.
Okay.
I shut it off. I turn it back on. Now I have screens. Now I have no controllers, and hand tracking won't enable. So now I have the screens. I can't physically click on anything. So then I turn it off and I turn it back on a third time. And that third time I have screens and controllers.
Okay. But when you were describing last night, it was much more severe than my situation.
I don't know what's going on. And then I'll be using virtual desktop, and then 30, 40 minutes in, it boots me out of it. And then I'm unable to connect back to my computer unless I shut off my computer, turn off my headset, turn them both back on, and then I can reconnect.
So I'm starting to wonder if it was more a problem with
I think
desktop.
Well, I think it's version 74. For whatever reason, since I went to version 74, it's like my headset just does not like me.
Okay.
I'm having issues all across the board.
So yeah, I'll have to chalk it up to that then. I was blaming the headset that was being funky.
Mm-hmm. I would die. I think it's more of an operating system issue at this point.
I was so angry.
But nonetheless.
The hell, man.
We got the showcase coming April 4th. We have after parties afterwards. We have a whole bunch of great trailers. Stay tuned. I cannot wait for Friday, April 4th, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Now, onto the VR news. This one caused a little bit of a fun off-air discussion between me and you. We ended up going back into memory lane with Grid Legends and some, what did we say during that review? It was quite the fun off-air discussion. But Viper Vice is a game coming out soon on the MetaQuest that is hoping to scratch the itch of Grand Theft Auto in VR. I mean, even the Upload VR article, like right at the start, they kind of warn you on the graphics, pretty early on in the article. The graphics are not anything polished. I think it's like a solo dev or a super small team, but they're trying to do the open world missions, driving, robbing people, robbing stores, a little bit of all of those game elements that Grand Theft Auto has that, put together makes people fall in love with that world. It's definitely not visually polished like a Rockstar game would be. But I'll give them credit for trying to hit all those gameplay features. Remember when we weren't even able to see people do driving cars successfully on the Quest?
No, Thief Sim.
And then Thief Sim came out with it. And
they did really good with it.
Grid Legends as well. And then we're like, all right, you can drive cars.
Yeah.
So if like somebody's at the point that as a small team or a solo dev, they're able to put together all those gameplay features, that's pretty impressive. Just again, don't go in expecting anything that's going to blow your mind visually.
I mean, they're not the worst graphics.
It kind of looks like Drunken Bar Fight character models.
I'd be happier if they made it Quest 3 exclusive, though.
So that they're not... Well, that was kind of part of the thing of that they said in the Upload VR article, like they're playing it on a Quest 2.
Yeah. That's more like Quest 3 worthy.
Dude, if they can pull this off...
I mean...
They said they're expecting early access.
By the time Rockstar does anything, it's going to be too late.
Well, props to them that
unless they pull like 5.
They did it,
Yeah, no, they're. I mean, they have potential to clean house.
They say the game is set to include ambient civilians, traffic, dynamic missions. I'm sorry, set to include ambient civilians and traffic, dynamic missions, unlockable drivable videos, and usable equipment, as well as alliances and rivalries driven by your choices.
Yeah, I love that your choices are going to dictate the direction that this game's going to take. So,
San Andreas, while I know you weren't the biggest fan of like the modeling, like changing the look of CJ with the I loved it. One element that they also had that I've yet to see brought into another GTA sense is gang wars. There was gang territory.
Yeah, you'd have to take over the
so
for the extra for missions. And
yeah, it wasn't really required. I think that there might have been some game moments where it was like you need to control this area in order to proceed.
Was that the one that did the graffiti as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Dude, see, there were so many elements of GTA San Andreas that didn't come to any other GTA's after that make San Andreas a bit unique. That's kind of what I got with the Alliance and Rivalries vibe. Like maybe there will be some gang territory in it. But it's set to come out in early access, quote unquote, in a few months. And you can currently wishlist it on they say the Horizon store, on the MetaQuest store.
Yeah, no, they can't make us. They can't force us to call what we don't want.
I'm about to just revert back to Oculus. Why don't we all just put our foot down and say, you all can call it internally what you want.
Listen, unless
you're changing the name every 6 months, we're just going to call it Oculus.
There may be situations where we would have to say Meta Horizon Headset World System Operating 1001 versus Oculus. It might just come with the territory, but I'm with you. Bring back Oculus. Best logo ever.
Oculus never die.
No, dude. And I hate that I've resided that it's called a Quest, so please don't change it to like the Horizon World operating device.
Yeah, that's like the only aspect of the name that they haven't changed of the headset yet. It's always been a Quest. It was Oculus Quest. It's still Meta Quest. I guess that is also in danger at any point too, huh? Could be a Meta Horizon headset.
Yeah, please. No.
The Meta Horizon 3.
With Horizon Worlds built right in. 365.
Free
24/7. Oh my God. Free to use. We'll pay you $5 million to make shit for us. I'm just joking. One person's not getting $5 million. So one that I know we talked about in our Discord. I think Inferno might have brought it up. I could be wrong. But from developers Take IT or Take It. How would you? Only because it's capitalized. I would say, well, fuck
No,
it.
I get it. Take It Studio.
Take
but
It Studio.
You're emphasizing we're taking it.
I'm just used to seeing it written like that whenever it's going to emphasize IT. So anyways, Take It Studio. Electrician Simulator will
Can I
be
say
arriving.
that they threw an exclamation point at the end of their studio as well?
Yeah.
Name?
Exciting.
Continue, sorry.
Yeah. So Electrician Simulator. I hope I don't say that word a lot. VR is arriving on Quest, PSVR 2, and Steam March 21st.
Ooh.
Taking more of a...
So it's out now already.
Yeah, shit. It came out
I just realized
Friday.
the date.
Yeah.
Holy
oh my
shit.
God.
Out now. Electrician Simulator. I want to say Electric Simulator. I don't know why.
That's why I was stumbling.
Electrician Simulator.
They're taking more of the goofy approach towards the whole electrical situation here, where you're going to have to wire stuff, but you're also going to have to like put out fires. You know, you're going to have some wonky fun. You're going to get electrocuted.
Hopefully that doesn't happen in your real world
which
electrician
isn't funny.
business.
Article from Upload VR says they're taking comedic cues from Power Wash Simulator VR. And I'm like, what comedic cues really was in Power Wash? I'm trying to think of like, what were funny moments?
Well, I think they probably just mean the whole atmosphere. Power Wash Simulator is goofy.
Took that. What are you talking about, man? Shit's serious. Took that shit real serious. The amount of hours I have on that on flat screen's
It's
gross.
fucking funny.
But anyways,
Out now.
I definitely want it. I wanted it when I originally saw it get posted.
I love the Upload VR title headline for this. Prepare your rubber boots.
Rubber boots. I got a great rubber boot story because all electricians wear rubber boots.
Can I say real quick though that it's $18.99 on the MetaQuest store?
Not bad. No, it's I believe it's going to be
Dude.
worth it. What?
1 rating.
Oh, it just came out 2 days ago. It's 48
One?
hours old.
1?
I have.
The store's in a crazy spot, my man.
No, I just also know that like
1?
based on all right, listen. It's a flat screen carryover as well, I believe. But so you look at the graphic that they give you, right? If you see that, do you see anything that's going to be funny or anything that's going to be like, just looking at the graphic?
Yeah. No, you're talking about the key art right there.
Yeah. So it's
their
like
key art sucks. Is
it's
what
like,
you're saying.
I'm not saying it sucks. I mean, I think it's great for what it is, but if the
It
game
sucks for converting
this
you
looks
to get
very
to
serious. Like
it sucks for converting you to click on
like
it.
I don't want to be an electrician, but
Yes.
if you know it's going to be like that doctor one, it's all fun, and this one's going to be fun.
I agree.
It's a hard sell based on some serious.
They should have something
shit.
on fire in there.
Dude standing there
something.
with a stud finder, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not resonating fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's resonating more like educational.
It's not. 100% agree on that.
So the rubber boots in one of the shopping centers in New York, I'll leave nameless so I don't get fucking sued. There's a pair of rubber boots in front of an electrical panel in one of the electrical rooms that's melted to the floor that they have left there for a couple of decades as a reminder as to why you always keep a door locked to an electrical room, because the person who went in there was an electrician and he was going to work on this panel, I guess hot, and he shouldn't have. And he literally, all that's left is the melted boot. So you can only imagine the electrical explosion that happened with him in it. So that's the reminder that we used to all get, the importance of making sure that your security systems are in place.
There's a lot of at-home stuff I'm down to do. Anything electric, I don't mess with, man.
I won't fuck with the panel, but anything coming off the panel, I don't mind messing with, because you can shut the power off.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't do,
Just touch that panel.
dude.
Dude, I know. Dude.
I had my panel worked on, licensed electrician, commercial, and another electrician out again. I won't name these people by names, but anytime I've seen them work on residential panels, it's hot. Not shutting mains off. I'm like, how do you even do it? And they're like twisting wires and shit. Crazy. So But anyways, that's
Yeah.
my rubber boot story.
Yeah. But no, dude, so there's a lot of store element things like your key art
Yeah.
and stuff. The name of your game. I mean, you can't rely on being on the MetaQuest store anymore, which like 2 years ago.
It's shameful it only has one review. But I understand. Like,
I agree. And
you're looking at what to get. And
this
you're
does
like,
100% look like a job training.
if you click on it and read the description, you'll be like, oh, okay, it's going to be more. I'm just going to be funny. It's going to be fun.
We never would have seen this a couple of years ago. One review, dude.
That's like some like low budget
App Lab games used to not get one review.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the worst App Lab game. Because one review.
There used to be subreddits dedicated to App Lab.
It's making me sad.
That would on the subreddits and websites that would do the same thing. They would automatically list every new App Lab listing. So every new App Lab listing would get a dedicated Reddit post. Just that alone would get them more than one review, you know?
No, I definitely want to try it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try it before, one could say it was designed to be funny.
It looks cool. I'll definitely check it out as well.
Mm-hmm. But out now?
Yeah.
Grab it.
$18.99. So this one was another headset has entered the market. Bigscreen Beyond 2 was announced this past week. It's going to be starting to ship next month, but they're now back ordered. We'll get to that in a minute. Bigscreen Beyond 2 and Beyond 2E. So they're going to be coming in May with optional eye tracking, adjustable lenses that are both clearer and wider. So it looks like they're going to be doing the same made exactly to your IPD like the original was. The only complaint I ever heard people have about the original big screen one was the field of view. And some people said the lenses weren't clear. So that seems like the main thing that they went after. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Increasing the field of view. And they say a very large sweet spot with edge to edge clarity and massively reduced glare. They're claiming that their optics on this headset, they say it's the world's best pancake optics. We'll see on that. Yet to be seen.
We're the world's best podcast.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the price.
No, I believe it's going to look pretty damn good, especially if they focused on the only two main complaints.
Mm-hmm. Bigscreen Beyond 2 is going to be coming out at $1,019, and Bigscreen Beyond 2E is going to be coming at $1,219 as well.
That's awesome.
So with them addressing the main complaints being the optics and the field of view, they came out and said the Bigscreen Beyond CEO said that they sold more Beyond 2 headsets in one day than the original did in the first 6 months. And now the headset is back ordered to June as well.
Googly moogly.
Mm-hmm.
June.
Yeah, new orders will now come out in June. If you were one of the original bunch that bought it, it'll still come out in May. But if you're oh my God, it's getting all this attention, let me get one, you got to wait till June. The CEO keeps joking, it looks like I'm hiring new people. It looks like I need to up my production, I don't know what the numbers were on the first, but that has
they might not have expected that kind of initial hit either.
It shows that there's a hungry market of PC VR people. I would not have expected people to spend $1,000, $1,200 like that. But I mean, hey, look, if you listen to your audience and they go, this is the complaint, and you come back with a new game, a new headset that is all of those complaints fixed, this is a great example of listening to the consumer base, and the consumer base will reward you. I think people were very excited to hear the specs on it. I always wanted
it's
a
obviously
Bigscreen
selling.
Beyond.
Yeah, oh no.
The only reason I didn't make a push to get one is we didn't have PC VR at the time.
Correct.
And then I had heard some stuff about production delays and field of view, and I was like, I'll wait for additional
production delays. You say
on the first one, it took some people a while to get theirs. Yeah, it gets me a little nervous.
So one could argue that's complaint number 3 that wasn't resolved.
Well, they've been doing a bunch of videos leading up. And I won't say a bunch. They've done some interviews and videos and stuff leading up to this as well, talking about lessons that they learned of manufacturing headsets in America and lessons that they would learn for the future. So maybe that was a little bit of a teaser that look, we learned our lesson. We got it better for next time. Whether or not they're now prepared to ship as many headsets in one day of orders that they took in 6 months is a different conversation, but at least they have some capital to play with.
Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Congrats to Big Screen. You know,
dude, maybe we get our paws on one. Or
dude,
two.
it's such a brutal
Two
year.
would be nice.
It's a brutal year with
I
headsets.
like sharing headsets.
I know. Big Screen. If anyone from Big Screen listens to this, holla at your boy, you know?
Cat's in the cradle with a silver spoon.
You can hit us up at either Damien at rufftalkvr.com or there's even a Brian.
There is.
But you know what? I always say that. It's Damien.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
right.
Bryan.
Yeah.
I wonder how many. I should probably claim those like misspellings of our
Yeah. It's
like
just
redirect.
one letter difference for each.
Just
yeah,
to redirect to
dude.
yours. Yeah. Now I'm fucking wondering. Has anyone ever emailed Brian
I
or
hope
like
not.
Damian or something?
Yeah.
Shit.
Especially when your name's pretty specific.
Yeah.
So.
All right. If you email us, make sure you spell it right. That might be a little important. But huge congrats to Big Screen. Hopefully, we can get our hands on one when these things start to come out.
Cats in the
Won't be
cradle
before
with a
June
silver-
now, it sounds like, though. Congrats. That's fucking awesome.
All right. I got one I'm excited for. I'm excited for them all, but this one excites me. From Spoonge Games. Isn't that what? Sponge.
You know-
Sponge.
Dude, they did Dead Second.
Spongy. I don't know.
That was a good one. It was
Yeah.
like, it was almost like a Crisis Brigade one where you run through fast. We got in a huge rivalry with shoes on leaderboard times on that one. But I'll let you continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So coming April 17th to MetaQuest 3 and 3S, Eggy.
What a fucking awesome name.
I love it. Mixed reality dragon pet simulator. So in your house, we'll hatch an egg and a buck. And everything you need to know about raising your dragon will be in the book. And you got to take care of it. And yeah, man, you got to play. You got to train it
I
for
love
its
it.
life outside the nest.
I
and
love it.
An actual note from the developer, short and sweet. Every choice, feeding, training, and bonding impacts your dragon's skills and survival in the dragon realm. Listen for purrs, songs, or sad rumbles. Sing, pat, or dance to comfort and connect with your dragon. Train your dragon to eat, walk, and fly. When the time comes, let it leave the nest and forge its own legacy beyond reality. That's got some Pete's Dragon element to it. And I'll tell you what if I don't want to let my dragon go? Can I hold it back a little?
I never watched Pete's Dragon, but I feel like I have memories of you talking about this.
I hate the ending of that.
I feel like I've
Kid
heard you
gives up
go
the
on
dragon.
rants about this.
Oh, it drives Tracy crazy.
I've heard,
'Cause
yep,
it's-
I've definitely
'cause-
heard this before.
Yeah, man. Because in theory, it's like he's letting go of his dragon. The dragon comes and helps him. Blah, blah,
Leave
blah.
the nest, one of those stories,
Yeah, and then
right?
it's time for the dragon to go on and help another little boy. And my attitude was always like, I was devastated that why would you do
So you're
that?
gonna have to go through this in mixed reality. This can be traumatic to you.
You're gonna give me PTSD, man.
But
I'm gonna
dude-
get all sorts of
You want to talk about the opposite of Electrician Simulator VR? Let's look at name. Eggy.
Eggy.
Doesn't that get you interested right off the top?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Unfortunately, no in-game footage. That's
Look,
all computer generated.
but look at that key art though.
Mhm.
That makes me want to click on it.
Yeah. Well, you know it's gonna be funny.
Dude,
and
there's
fun.
a fucking cute little dragon. So it's actually cool that we got to see the total opposites back to back too.
Yeah.
This one, when it comes out, is going to have much more than one review in 2 days.
Eggy.
Dude, I'm actually hyped for that. That one might be one of my highlights of your news
No,
one as
I'm
well.
April 17th.
I'm genuinely excited for that one. And from a returning VR developer. Like I said, that's always cool.
Yeah, going totally different, which I love.
Mm-hmm. We're big fans of when.
Let me make sure I got the date right.
Yep, April 17th.
April 17th.
Dude,
Perfect.
I'm excited for it though. That's a day oneer for me.
Hell yeah.
So, in the world of game announcements, it shows you, I think you mentioned this last week, Jamie and Xena showcase with the VR game showcase was a couple weeks ago with a whole bunch of new game announcements. We have our showcase in just under 2 weeks with a bunch of new game announcements. And then look how many new games we're talking about this week as well too. Like things are popping. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom in the VR industry, but the reality is there's a lot of great stuff coming and in the works. So, including this new game coming out soon, this spring, the Phoenix Gene. They say it's inspired by Star Fox and Ikaruga. It's a new third-person on-rail shooters coming this spring, developed by Hiromation. It's the studio's debut VR project that's been in development for 3 years. My understanding, a husband-wife duo as well too. Which, as a father-son duo, that
I give props.
I'm a little biased right off the top. I won't lie. But apparently, you play as Firestorm, a phoenix aiming to protect a young janitor called Jackie after she becomes targeted by her employer's life right following an accident involving an immortality serum. And there is a teaser trailer to go along with it. So I'm definitely excited to check this one out. They say it has intense action with strategic gameplay inspired by classics like Pistol Whip and then again Star Fox and Ikaruga. So I'm excited for this.
Okay.
Coming this spring. No release, no official release date, no price. You can add it to your wish list now. People often don't know the best ways to support developers. Like when we say like Electrician Simulator has one review, store reviews help a game so much. Obviously, if it's not out yet and that you can pre-order it, but obviously not everyone wants to spend money. But something I feel like isn't pushed enough on the MetaQuest store, even visible, it's like add stuff to your wish list. That stuff's huge. So if you're ever wondering how you can support a game you love that you've been playing, drop it a store review. That's a must. And then like a game that's coming out that you're hyped for, throw it on your wish list. That stuff makes a difference.
Oh, totally. Especially a review, dude.
And these days, there's so much stuff.
It's the easiest free thing you can do that has a bigger benefit than in some cases if like you left a tip. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird. It's like especially in the world of algorithms.
That's my point. Like things like wish lists, reviews.
Yeah.
Those are the things that the store AI algorithm looks for. It's like if you love a game, you love a developer, that's the best way to support. Besides, buying the game, but after you bought it, if you love it and you want to support them, drop a store review. See one you love, you excited for, add it to your wish list. So if you're interested in the Phoenix Gene coming out this spring, as we were just saying about ways to support a game, go drop them a wish list. Sweet. Sweet.
All right. So coming, I have an announcement date, but no announcement price. But based on former prices of the same experience, it was $20. So we'll see. April 14th, wish list Titanic VR, which is an oldie.
I think it's out on PC VR.
Yeah, it originally came out in Steam and Oculus Rift, and the original PlayStation VR in 2018.
Okay, so not the second.
No, this ran on the first. So it's an oldie, but to bring the full experience over to standalone was not possible with the current chipsets that were being used, but now with the latest and greatest XR2 Gen 2 chipsets.
Oh, the ones that were in the Quest 2 it couldn't do, but now the ones that are in the Quest 3.
Correct.
They can bring be a Quest 3 exclusive?
Bring the full Titanic VR experience to standalone. Well, they already have it for, so it's going to launch for just Quest 3 and 3S.
Okay.
On April 14th. But again, no price. So speculation would be $20.
Okay.
You're in a submarine and I mean, clearly it's a VR experience, not, you're not piloting the Titanic.
There was another Titanic one that did come out on the Quest.
Didn't do great.
Where you like time traveled and like you had to go back in time. This is a totally different one.
This is more of an educational. I guess a lot of detail, a lot of NPCs. I'm curious.
Okay. I'm excited to try it though.
I'll refrain from submarine jokes, but whatever. Oh, wait a second. You understand his, but revealing the tragic sinking of the RMS Titanic in a 1912 as a survivor and then exploring it in present day.
Okay.
So you get the best of both worlds.
So you get
best of both worlds.
You get to be, I wonder at what point they have you take over the survivor. If you're like,
once you're in the rescue boat, because certainly they're not going to have you freeze to death.
No, but it would be cool if you had to like, it's like panic, like make your way to the rescue boat. And that's how the game started. And you got to like fucking get, you know what I mean? like navigate through. Or if they're already going to start you, you're on the boat and you're like, look at that shit.
Tell you this, if you're in the boat, you know you were doing socially okay.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a Titanic museum?
Man, why did those people spend all that money to go kill themselves in that submarine trying to view it when you could have just gotten a PlayStation VR headset or a PC VR headset?
What's the irony that it was running on a PlayStation controller?
Stop. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. All right.
No,
the Titanic
dude,
VR coming next month.
Within a 30-minute drive, there's a Titanic museum.
Mm-hmm. That's all I need. I don't need to take no fucking.
And then I'm like, how do
submarine.
we know that's the real parts and stuff? We can't question it. But anyways, I wanna do it. I actually own the Quest Titanic thing you're speaking of.
The time traveling one?
Yeah.
Like I said, totally unrelated game.
I don't remember the time travel aspect, but I remember not finishing it.
I remember I never played it. I just remember in the previews they had said something like you were meant to go back in time, I think to before it sunk or after it sunk or something.
I thought they were building another Titanic too.
And then you land actually while it's sinking, and so that's the game, something like that. I didn't play it. But anywho, this next one, dude, much like Eggy, I think this is like my number 2 game that we're talking about on this list of news that I'm excited for. Table Troopers on Quest is a game that I like Upload VR's description of it because it gets me excited. They describe it like it looks like Worms. Worms is a series that I have played versions of. I mean, geez, for more than half my life at this point. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a turn-based kind of tactile game where you try to kill the enemy by moving these militant
you're talking
worms.
about a game.
Yes. Well, you move these militant worms. It's so fun. So if Table Troopers is anything like Worms, I'm freaking hyped. But you're going to have that rotatable table board style that we love in games like Demio and stuff like that. It's going to be in mixed reality. And it looks like you take control of individual units and you move them across the battlefield using hand tracking controls and just engage in some great tabletop combat. Dude, I'm excited. Like it sold me at Worms. That's all I needed to hear. This is actually interesting because about a year ago, through Oculus Publishing, they announced the Ignition program, which was a program to provide funding through the Oculus Publishing side for indie games. And this is one of the first titles to appear from the Oculus Publishing Ignition program. So hopefully this is a good seller. We see that program, we see more versions of it if there's a good return on it and stuff. And I'm overall really excited for this one.
I knew your excitement immediately.
Yeah, I love Worms, dude. I've talked about actually wanting a Worms.
Big ones, brown ones.
So
because I eat worms. I'm excited for it just because you're excited.
There's no release date for it yet, just coming later this year. But if you're excited, check out their store page and add it to your wish list. So Table Troopers, so hyped for this one.
What's the price?
No price yet. It's just add to wish list. No release date. Nothing. Just
but it's ready.
It's coming this year.
Oh, then who knows how ready.
Yeah, that could be November.
Damn it.
Be December. But I'd gladly play it and give them my thoughts. You know what I mean? If they want me to.
Listen, anytime in all seriousness, anytime we've gotten early access to shit, which has been a lot, I'm not in it to be like, oh, it's broken. Mm-hmm. I'm in it to be like, I'm appreciating the time and I know it's going to be under development. And I know shit's going to change.
That's the best time to get us in because we can give feedback before it goes live. There's actually one game we were playing where you were like, is this game out yet? Because I'll tell them that this voice that they're using should not be in the final game. And I was like, no, it's been out for like 6 months.
Oh, it broke my heart.
Because you're like, it would be such a good game if they just got rid of it.
I can't even imitate it.
Well, you were telling me how bad it was and like trying to do the voice. And like, I was like, I have to go in to see what you mean. Because again, try to do that voice again. It doesn't do justice to how
it's a million times worse.
So
think of the most annoying voice you'd ever want to hear while playing a game. It's that.
When I went in, I went, oh God, oh no.
All right. So in the funny side of news, I'd call it a funny side of news. And it's not so much what it is. It's just that the response is like, so like,
And I don't believe it. And the response is like, goof. Yeah,
It's very cloak and dagger. So Meta CTO responding on X/Twitter. Get the hood, get the black hood. Ooh. Responded to Cade XR, which is cool to even get a response from.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give Andrew Bosworth credit for, and a lot of the other Meta people is that they're like very front facing.
Dude, they got software that probably tells them anytime somebody even thinks of their name. but he had a response talking about the Oculus name, where he professes that he loved it, but where it gets weird. So he could have just said, right, I'll even cover my hand.
He is their CTO. Can I say this part too? It's not like he's a small employee.
He goes, This is very different than Oculus, a name I definitely love and hoped to keep. So before we even get into it, like you said, he's the CTO. I'm sure his name is all over documents and signatures on things changing, coming, going, up, down, left, right. And if not, people who work for him certainly are. Anywho.
And if he doesn't have a voice to prevent that type of change, nobody does.
Yeah, exactly. But then to go down the spooky road. This is where like 48 Hours comes in, or Dateline, or any of those shows.
Trying to tease a book sale in the future.
I hope that the story gets told someday, but suffice it to say, it isn't what everyone thinks, and it isn't something I'm free to talk about just yet. And there was no exclamations there. I exaggerated his tone.
But like what
could it be?
Like what is all?
What story? What's the story?
So
there's actually like a story behind this.
Yes. Is there some big legal reason that it couldn't stay Oculus?
I'm not at liberty to discuss it this
moment. It's just weird. Look, all you had to say is, look, it's a name I definitely loved and hope to keep. And
yeah, man,
there's a lot of complex factors
that
at
story
play.
Gets told someday. It isn't what everyone thinks. And it isn't something I'm free to talk about just yet.
I had you laughing off air, and you made a good point. Like, well, he wouldn't even hold him to it. I was like, the only thing I could see is that after X amount of years, light name rights for VR hardware go back to the original Oculus owners or something. You're like, they would just let them probably keep using it, honestly. Work out something. Funny. I can't think of what else that would be beside, like, what's the big...
Catch me on the new episode of Bozcast, where I will reveal to you what that story is.
I actually think it's confusing because their parent company name is now Meta.
He's such a cool dude, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like that there's a lot. There's the AMA, so much front facing stuff.
No, he's pretty transparent. It's just that one's a little.
It's just
cloak and dagger.
There's no point in even saying that.
But there's a story there somewhere.
So something happened.
What?
And it's not what anyone thinks.
Know? I want to know.
It's a book. That's a book in 10 years is what that is. That's a
book.
That's the first teaser of a book he's going to sell in a decade.
What would you even title it? Oculus, a name that once was?
Something like that,
An Oculus named it.
Behind the Oculus, the untold story of the VR industry, something like that. Beyond Oculus, I don't know what else. That's a book in 10 years, though. That's what he's doing.
I'll write a book in 10 years, and
that's what he's doing.
Titled. It'll always be Oculus,
because he can't talk about it just yet. So wait till the day he goes, I can talk about it now, and it's in this nice hardcover. Doing book signings across Walmart's across the United States. Barnes and Nobles, man. Barnes and Nobles.
I don't think Boz is going to Walmart.
Barnes and Nobles across the whole continental U.S.
Yeah, no, I'm intrigued though. I'm poking fun at it, but it's like, yeah, I want to know the story because I loved the name Oculus, and we were just joking earlier that we're going to keep it.
Yeah,
so
it's like I'm never dropping.
What is the real reason? What is the story? Is it something that had to do with proprietary ownership rights that someone else was cut into the piece of, and if you didn't change the name, you were paying millions?
They were Kleenex, like for the product of VR headsets. People called them Oculuses.
Yeah. You got a Q-tip?
It's like crazy to throw that away. Nobody's calling it a Meta, a Quest. And then what happens if you do a different line of headsets besides the Quest? Now you've completely they were always had the Oculus name no matter what the line of headsets was.
I know people that have just gotten it and call it Oculus.
Yes.
Like literally have just got nowhere on it does say Oculus, right? But on the box.
Dog, who would have ever thought when we first got the headset and the App Lab first came, that was the peak of branding and store structure.
Oh, they crushed it. I mean, I like their logo though. when they changed the load-in logo to the 3D turning, like Infinity Oculus headset logo.
Well, I think the Oculus logo was better than the Meta logo for everything.
I agree.
It's confusing to have.
It was easy to recognize. It was so simple.
Meta changed their name to Meta so that they could have a differentiation between the parent company and each one of their products. Like they would have Meta, but then they would have Facebook, WhatsApp,
Instagram.
versus it was confusing to have the parent company Facebook and then a product Facebook. So then what's the point in changing it to Meta, but then naming your VR product Meta? If you changed your name to have a differentiation for your products, you should have kept the Oculus brand. It doesn't make sense.
They should have kept it Oculus. The Ray-Bans should have been branded something else.
Mm-hmm.
Meta Ray-Bans.
That makes sense in that sense.
Oculus headsets.
Yes.
The Orion glasses can be something else. But keep it. Well, you could call them Meta Orions.
Mm-hmm.
That actually is a nice. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, we'll follow the story as it unfolds.
Yeah. Talk to you in 10 years when you come out in that book.
Story.
It's a book in 10 years. I keep saying it.
If he's going to write a book, it's not going to be about the name change.
That's going to be a chapter in it. Well, you watch.
Someone from fucking Meta writes a book. You know, it's going to be some good shit. You know,
it's going to be Amanda Watson for the.
As long as it's not a Lifetime movie, then we know we're all good.
All right. So as always,
you hit Lifetime, you fucked up.
We've hit that point in the road, and we definitely got to plow through the rest. We've hit that point in the road where it is time for our on-air shout out to our Patreon members that we have so much appreciation for. Thank you, as always, to Asim, Amelia, Carson, Earth Witness, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, and Shoes. And you can join that esteemed list of supporters by visiting the link in our show notes, our episode description, clicking on the Patreon link there, becoming a supporter of the show, and you can hear your name on the shout outs. As well, you can also, by visiting our show notes, check out our publicly available, open to everyone, unless you spam crazy shit, Discord server, which is a great community of fellow VR fans and Ruff Talk VR listeners, full of great VR discussion, food discussion, game meetups, you name it, book clubs, racing discussion, whole bunch of everything.
After parties.
Lots
of golf.
Walkabout mini golf, synth rider nights. Come on.
Yeah.
You want it? We got it over at the Ruff Talk VR Discord. So check that out. Like I said, Patreon and Discord. Links in our show notes. And thank you to all of our Patreon members and to each and every one of you as the listeners each and every week. So another thing from another meta statement, since we're just going to be on the statement hour, from former Ruff Talk VR guest, actually, Chris Pruitt. He was the one. It's funny to go back and listen to that interview.
It's a great interview.
It's done a 180. If you go back and listen to it, they talked about being skeptical of free-to-play games. And, I mean, he really sold me on the value of curation.
There's a lot of sound bites in there that
don't hold up these days.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's not a good look.
I mean, like, look.
It's a good interview, though.
Chris Pruitt's original vision of the store that we discussed on that interview of curation and the benefits of it, I think is the correct vision. I think that is better than the open store situation we have now. But anyway, Chris Pruitt did a talk at GDC 2025 where he gave an update on really where the store is at. And this, while there's not video available of it yet, if there ever will be, I assume there will be one day. They did do a blog post pretty much talking almost a full transcript of the talk. Basically talks about the opening of the store, their funding of games. And one noticeable thing is that they, reiterated that they are still investing massively in VR gaming and don't plan to stop that. Whether that's just, saying what needs to be said, I genuinely believe them in this. There's often a lot of doom and gloom where people go, Meta's not going to invest in games anymore. It's all AI. Get out of here. That if Meta pulled out of funding games, it would have such a catastrophic ripple effect on the industry. They've funded so many games that have even gone to multiple platforms.
Meta's made a lot of people a lot of fucking money, dude.
It's not like Meta funds a game and it always stays on just the MetaQuest store. I mean, come on. So, nonetheless, they said that they will continue to fund games, and they're still investing heavily as well. And then also during the talk, Chris Pruitt did his. He said that, oh man, I actually think the statement about sticking with funding VR, I actually think that correction to myself, that came from another tweet from Andrew Bosworth. And then the GDC talk that Chris Pruitt did was about the status of the store. And he talked a lot in it about feeling that the opening of the store didn't lead to a negative correlate, like didn't cause any bad sales effect to developers. And the evidence that they gave was that they started following a cohort of new users that activated their headsets on Christmas that were first-time VR users. Like they didn't have a Meta account before, a MetaQuest account. And they tracked the behavior of these people. And these people naturally went to more free-to-play titles. And that's just what this cohort of a bunch of new users that have come in with the Quest 3.
That's a short-term study. That's not a long-term anything.
And dude, you know what my problem with that is? That starts December 25th.
But you can cherry pick any study.
We
Be
were
in your favor, you know?
And like they're talking about behavior of people that never had a headset starting on December 25th. That's their own word, right? But we went to Meta Connect in what, September? 3 months before that, and people were talking about feeling the effects of the opening of the store.
Dude, we don't have a game on the market, and we saw it coming.
Games have one review.
Come on, man.
So how can the behavior of a cohort that never were even VR users till December, how could that be an effect on people 3 months prior? It doesn't address what was already being felt back in Connect. So my counter to that is, what's more likely? That this new cohort that started in December magically behaves different. Magically. This large number of people that come in are suddenly free-to-play users, or does the layout and structure and what's presented on the store gravitate them into free-to-play apps?
Well, I mean, from my own experience, and this was just me, I looked specifically for what was some free shit that I could try.
When you first got your headset for the 2.
So I imagine if you polled any headset user at any given time and said, what did you do when you got the headset? It probably wasn't, I instantly spent $200 on 5 games. And I looked around for shit. Like, what do I do? This is a new world, new medium, new whole menu. Like, what do I, there's a fucking roller coaster thing free. I'm going to try it. So
to make it even more preposterous, dude, when you buy a Quest headset, you get what, 3 months of Quest Plus? So no shit, from December to March, they haven't been buying games.
I would just argue it's a skewed.
Wicked skewed.
It's a skewed in your favor to something that they recognize exists and aren't just going to publicly say it's a fuck up, because it's a little different than like a tech glitch. That's,
the issues were felt before the Quest 3 was announced.
Yeah.
The 3S was announced. You can't say it's all be these new 3S users. Just suddenly they're magically free to play users that didn't exist. That's not how people behaved before. So get the fuck out of here. And then they said too that they were like, the existing VR users were already trending to buy less games. But like, because you were changing the store and you were presenting less premium titles.
And people own a lot of freaking games, man.
Dude,
and there's
crazy.
also, not everyone buys every single game. And then some people buy a game, it's their only game they want to play. And then
some people just play Blade and Sorcery. Ghost of Tabor.
There's some games that take 10 hours to finish, and you're not playing 10
Batman
hours straight. So, there's so many variables that go into.
Yeah, it was crazy. I just feel bad. I misspoke and said that the investing in VR commitment came from Chris Pruitt's talk. Like I said, correction, that was from an Andrew Bosworth tweet. I just mixed up my notes real quick. They said that heavily pushing Horizon Worlds 2 did not affect store spending, saying that monthly headset usage increased by 30%. But usage has nothing to do with spending.
Yeah.
This is crazy. The whole thing was like manipulated stats. Even their thing of saying that people spend 70% of their time in free-to-play apps. I think that counts avatar editor, settings, browser. Like,
Probably turning the headset on.
Your home screen.
Accidentally don't plug it in and don't turn it off.
Yes.
I mean, it's using data because a lot of times it'll update and shit. Well, as long as it's plugged in. So,
And I think technically settings is an app. Avatar editor is an app. Your home screen, I think, is an app.
I mean, the data is blatantly skewed.
Yeah.
In favor of however you want to read it.
Yeah.
You could take long-term data and prove it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else could take middle data and be like, everyone's right.
Mm-hmm.
Just what eyes do you want to see it at? All I know is like, I've seen and heard it firsthand, and I don't have a game on the market.
And I mean, people say, well, Gorilla Tag and free to play. Oh yeah. Go play Gorilla Tag for free on PC VR. Because you're going to spend $20. So what's free to play? Free to play on the Quest. It's a big difference, you know?
Oh man, you cracked me up. So this is kind of weird. I mean, it's not really huge news. It's just interesting. And I never knew this is how shit worked over there, but our neighbors across the pond,
this one.
Yeah. VR headsets, the prices of the headsets specifically are actually being used in the Matrix in the United Kingdom to help measure inflation, which shows, I mean, to do that means you've had a serious, like a lot of people are spending money on it.
How much does a VR headset cost as part of like how the economy's doing?
So the ONS in the UK, which is their Office of National Statistics,
let's go,
takes into account the pieces of many hundreds of goods. And one of those goods is now VR headsets.
To calculate the national inflation rate, VR headsets are playing a factor in that. Now, here's the thing. If Apple came out with a new headset, Deckard, and then Bigscreen and one other like wicked expensive one, does that skew that statistic a bit? Because it's like, well, let's be real.
Well, I mean, it should.
But like, even you can still get a Quest for $300.
I don't think it's specific to just Quest. It's the fact that there's a lot of headsets being sold. There's a lot of money being spent. And, you know, what effect does this have on inflation? I'm not quite sure.
I think the headset price is too viable. Like there's too much of a range and it's too unpredictable.
Yes,
like
in a niche market.
Call me crazy.
But that means that the UK is recognizing it as a mainstream product. It is not a niche market.
I think that
That's like the government saying, hey, it's not niche. Cut the shit. This is mainstream.
I think that they should just monitor the prices of Quest and PlayStation headsets. And that then you'll get a more accurate stat. Because if you start factoring in big screen, immersed, Apple, fucking Deckard, it's like, come on.
Well, you have to.
They're going to be like, inflation's through the roof.
Well, that's again, I don't know how that's
yeah, and it's just
anything.
one good of thousands that they analyze as well.
Yeah. And yeah, they're taking in all the statistics on it. So, but what's incredible is they'll know. They'll know to the penny.
VR headsets are now tracked is pretty cool.
Well, again, the fact if it was a niche, it wouldn't be.
We're not a niche, baby. We're mainstream.
They wouldn't be looking at it. Yeah, no, that's like legit shit. I mean, I know we got Mark, right?
Started from the
Zuckerberg's. He's in it to win it, and we know it and we see it. But if he were to say it's not niche, it's mainstream, people would be like, "Fuck you," But this is the UK government recognizing, like, no, this is some mainstream shit.
VR appears in cinema, in movies, and TV
maybe I'm
shows.
reading into it too much.
No,
but
I'm
that's
with
how
you.
That's how I read it anyway.
I'm with you, baby. We're
or
mainstream.
Interpreted what I read.
We're mainstream.
Yep.
Maybe we don't have mainstream sales always, but we're mainstream in terms of like product recognition.
I disagree, man, because there's some studios out there that, I'm sorry, but when you're hustling millions of dollars in sales,
you look at the studio behind like I Am Cat and I Am Security.
it's like,
Not my favorite games. Let's be real. Not for me, but they're crushing it.
Look at fucking Gods of Gravity.
With Yeeps,
Just, I mean,
kids.
dude, kids.
They're little kid. They're boys. They're like it's
I'm
funny
6
to me.
feet. That dude's like 6'6". I did not see that coming.
I'm pushing 30, so when people are like 21, 22, they're like boys to me
Yeah,
these
me too,
days. Like a
kid.
little lad. Funny.
I usually call them McNuggets. Yeah.
Not them
little
specifically,
McNuggets.
just anyone in their
Oh, no.
20s. You're not
Yeah.
saying you call that McNuggets. I can see
Every
that being
time we do a Zoom
misunderstood.
meeting with them, what's up, McNuggets?
I can see that being talking about what you refer to
Like, yeah,
to young men in general.
Just little fries,
Young-
small fries and McNuggets.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So, Elsewhere Electric
Mm-hmm.
is an upcoming game that looks to unite VR and mobile players together with a new co-op puzzle game. What's interesting is they say it. Okay, so it's going to be coming to Quest and PC VR. While one person explores the world in VR and one person explores the world on their mobile phone to solve these puzzles.
Okay.
That's a cool concept.
I dig it.
So if you have a friend that's not yet sold on VR, be like, dude, just download this game on your phone and we can game together. I mean, I do that with one of my friends with Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with Walkabout Mini Golf on the phone.
Just tell him to get a fucking headset.
I know.
Stop being a cheapskate.
I know.
He's buying all the DLCs, I bet, too. Right?
Probably. He's fucking hooked. Why wouldn't he,
Just buy the headset.
But anyway, this Elsewhere Electric's coming out.
No, it is cool that he's able to do that because I played with you guys a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
It's coming to Quest and Steam this summer and the free accompanying mobile app. So that's the thing, your friend that plays on the phone doesn't even have to buy the app. They just download it. It's currently available for free on Android and iOS. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Dude, trailer's out now. I mean, it's just a cool concept. So,
Well, I want to try it and we'll take turns doing it, but
you could even play it with Tracy.
She's not going to get motion sick on the phone, I would hope.
I can be like, babe, I cannot play this game unless you.
If the gajillion TikTok videos don't make her nauseous, I'm sure, 10 minutes of that won't. No, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that squirrel and not games.
Acorn.
Yeah.
Acorn, whatever it is. Yeah.
Conceptually, just awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good combination.
Just it usually ends up just me and you with the gaming, though. With the VR stuff,
Yeah.
Right.
One squirrel, one gigantic tree swatting one lone squirrel running around is going to be very challenging, Send a thing flying. So right up my alley, another meditation. I won't call this one a meditation app because it's being called this is a unique one, dude. Come on, man. It's coming to Quest and PC. It is called Verse. It's a meditative experience. It's going to involve exploration set across cultural sites. So it was announced on World Poetry Day. You're going to walk through a series of global locations and immerse yourself in unique cultures through poetry and music across 8 locations, 28 musical compositions, and spoken word experiences.
That's cool.
From actually global recognized artists that if you're into spoken word, you'll be like, holy moly. I'm not going to even attempt to butcher any of these professionals' names because some of them are very difficult. And there's also an additional 17 tracks to uncover. So they have actually given you like unlockables, I guess, for an experience that's supposed to like really get you to connect and relax. But I'm down for these, man. I love these. If it's going to help force you to relax and just, escape for a little while, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know what the runtime is really going to be. But you'll also be able to play it on PC as well.
Yeah. I mean, no actual release date. So, the same add to your wish list if you're interested. But I caught an interesting detail on this. The first time I've seen this, it's coming to Steam, Quest, and Epic Game Store. Epic Game Store has VR? And if not, is this like a sign that they're going to start to push that more? If that's if that's just another store developers can sell their game on, that's not bad. I mean, I know it's
pretty huge.
It's not as popular and well received as Steam, but it's another storefront that people use. I didn't know that there was VR on there.
I don't even think I've ever used it.
Yeah, Epic Game Store gets people to use it a lot they give out a lot of free games. Like every month they'll give out something good. Don't quote me on every month, but I've got a lot of good games from Epic Game Store.
They also sell quite a lot too, yes.
Yeah, they're really pushing to be. I mean, they've gotten in a huge legal fight with Apple and stuff about the ability to sell the Apple game or the Epic Game Store on devices like Apple headsets. I'm kind of not confused, but I wasn't expecting to see that detail, I'll say.
So,
yeah, and they run sales just like Steam does. Sometimes they have different pricing. Then there's even exclusives. Not
Wow,
many exclusives, but Epic Game Store is a thing, you know?
okay.
And now they have VR.
Well, I'm typing that in right now.
Yeah, I see a bunch of
see
a bunch of
boom.
PC VR stuff. Okay, I genuinely didn't know that.
I don't, look, man, I mean, I got 20 plus year Steam badge. Obviously, I'm not trolling around here. To me, Steam's always been the shit.
I mean, how curated and how high quality are these experiences? I don't know, but we have what sounds like a good meditation game coming to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, they're also coming to
Meditation
Steam,
experience, I'll say. Yeah, but it'd
which
just be
is
cool.
smart.
It'd be cool if that becomes a thing that's like popular. That's kind of cool, man. All right.
Trying to look for a casual way to look for something while you do that.
All right.
Because it doesn't look like you're inundated with smut.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a really interesting one.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, dude. So anyways, Verse.
Coming soon.
Yep.
PC VR, Quest, and Epic Game Store for
I love
VR.
all these apps, man.
So there's some more Valve Deckard stuff. A Valve Deckard proof of concept model, according to Upload VR, had 2K LCD panels and a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset.
Boo.
Though
Oh.
they say this doesn't mean the shipping Deckard will. This was a concept art that who knows at what point it was into production. But Bradley, sadly it's Bradley or sadly it's Dadley on Twitter right now. It's
I
funny.
like this, sadly. It's sadly.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Congrats to the guy.
Congrats again.
He's been going, I mean, like, dude, he's ramping up with teasers and stuff. He posted that he saw a Valve employee with kind of a unique icon while they were playing a game that showed both VR and flat screen going at the same time for Half-Life Alyx. That's interesting. Whether that means a new device or it just shows the ability to run both from the same device, we'll see. That's exciting, though. I think it's coming. I mean, like, the smoke is in the air, right? Like, it's too ramping up. So, yeah, I'm excited for this.
I love this next one a lot. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know when this, just to say, I don't know when this proof of concept thing came out. If this is just being reported by Upload VR because, like, Deckard's in the news and it's hot. Or if because this is a recent thing that came mined out. But, you know, the rumors that's going to be $1,200, not $12,000.
$12,000.
Whoa! Does it come with a robot? No, $1,200.
It's a Louis Vuitton.
And the ability to play pretty much anything that runs on a Steam Deck natively, flat screen on it, and that it's going to be a standalone VR headset. There's rumors of them supporting and selling soon a Steam VR dongle for you to plug in and not do it over really Wi-Fi. You just more kind of like...
I want one. I won't lie.
Dude, it's coming. I feel it. There's too much smoke coming
I won't
out.
even balk at a alleged $1,200 price.
Yeah. Well, they still sell the Index for $9.99. But sorry to interrupt you. I'll let you go with the next one.
No. So LG has confirmed that they are ceasing their XR product commercialization, but will and have confirmed continue long-term research and design. You want to read something funny. According to The Bell, which is the South Korean news outlet that actually
Broke the story.
who had come up with this, yes. LG took the decision because it believes the XR market isn't growing as quickly as it expected, and it wants to focus more on heating and ventilation, air conditioning, and robotics.
So they want HVAC and robotics.
So even in the tech world, HVAC's where it's at, man.
HVAC, baby.
HVAC, whether you're the tech or you're in the tech world.
They're like, hey,
That's where it's at.
Honeywell did pretty good for themselves for some years, you know?
HVAC technicians clean house, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's such a weird, unexpected statement.
Yeah, it's just funny. But at least they're not giving up as far as like R&D.
Yeah, but they were supposed to be working with Meta on the Quest Pro successor.
But, well, by
Not anymore.
Continuing R&D, they could easily be picking up aspects of just the research aspect for a
them.
company.
That's
Yeah.
true. And then
Very
Meta buys
easily.
the research off them.
Or if they have some sort of working partnership, absolutely. Instead of like, because you know how it is. Everyone focuses on that one thing, and then you put all those pieces together and go, will it explode?
I think Meta's best headsets are always when they make it themselves anyway.
Truthfully, yeah.
Be just yourself as the hardware person and buy research off of them as they come up with it. So,
But I don't think this LG news is any hurt to anybody.
mm-hmm.
Just means you're going to have better HVAC equipment. But dude, LG is so deep in product line of what they do. I mean, smart fridges and stoves and microwaves and computers. It's like TVs, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
that I also think that's why they'll keep up with R&D too.
yeah,
They're
and that
not
doesn't
gonna
mean that
slip.
we don't see them come back one day as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So in this next piece of news, this is for the developer side of things. The Quest SDK version 74, same version number as the update, causing me headaches on my headset. But this is for stuff for developers. Version 74 of their Quest SDK brings you improved audio to expression feature, which is where the avatars are supposed to show expression while they talk, which Meta's own avatars don't do yet. It's interesting, but the feature is getting improved for the developer side. It shows you it's just a beta thing that they're working on improving, but it'll be cool the day you see NPCs in all these games showing real expression just off of the dialogue that's said. It also includes thumb micro gestures, which leverage hand-free tracking to dictate your thumb tapping and swiping of your index feature as if it were using like a D-pad. So it looks like you can do little thumb gestures like, that to teleport and move around. That's interesting. Look at that. Like I'm doing like a thumb war with the air to move. That's interesting. Just more accessibility stuff. So
Reminds me of the old Firefox days with gestures when that became a thing.
there's even a nice little graphic on the Upload VR article of, which way to swipe your fingers each way, up, down, left, right, and backwards and stuff. So not too much coming on the SDK. It also, I believe, starts to give developers some utilities for the pass-through camera access that just recently came. So at first I thought this was about the update that's been giving me hell. I was about to say, let's skip
You were
this.
ready.
I was ready for
Oh, no, you
Brawl,
were real ready.
but it's the SDK side. It's the developer side.
All right. On kind of the cool future tech.
AR side.
Yeah. Tech. We've never tried it,
We're actually big fans of the possibilities of AR too.
but they're doing shit that this was stuff that we see it should be doing. Snap spectacles, to be specific.
Made by same company as Snapchat.
Snapchat.
One of the leaders in AR.
It's so weird they fly under the radar doing what they're doing.
Well, because you were like, dude, this is basically Orion. I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, but it's a subscription based service that you're going to pay. If you're a developer, you're going to pay $100 a month. If you're an educator, $50 a month. But like you were saying, kind of off air, I mean, it's basically Orion,
it's obviously not as good.
and they
Doesn't do everything Orion advertised, but they're doing it.
dude. Their latest update called Navigator from Utopia Labs, navigation software added to the glasses.
That's what we want is GPS stuff, right?
Not to mention you'll be able to take your pet from Pure Dot.
Yeah, that's actually what the article I think is Paradox
It's
bringing their
It's just funny. You get this like unbelievable technology. I mean,
Well, why wouldn't you want a virtual pet walking with you,
Well-
though, right?
well, and Pure Dot's thing is to get you out,
Yeah.
get you moving, get you
Yep.
outside again. So it's just perfect. But holy crap, you talk about some cutting edge shit.
So the update brings navigation and connects it with Peridot.
You're a developer.
That's
man.
pretty cool.
Well, what's cool is from the development aspect, it's like, here it is.
Yeah,
And we're
I mean,
letting you.
It's there. I don't think Snap Spectacles get the attention they deserve.
How much are the glasses though?
I'll try to find you the price. Like I said, their pricing is horrendous between the pricing of the glass themselves
I don't
and then
like
the
subscription models for that kind
hardware
of money, but
to
I'm
use the
kind of
software.
in it for subscription services. So like,
The only reason that they're able to do this is because they're the only AR glasses really out right now.
yeah, but they're doing it, man.
I know.
No, you get for $99 a month, you get the glasses and the 12-month commitment required.
Oh, and not anyone can buy them right now. You got to apply to the developer program right now. Okay.
It's students too, man.
Okay.
This is it.
They should sell this, man.
Why is this not being screamed from the highest mountain?
Because me and you can't buy them. But why aren't they selling them?
I haven't caught a lot of people talking about.
No,
these.
it's very like people kind of don't even really consider them part.
But
of
they're
like
working and they're functionable.
they're doing it.
They're doing it. Look
Exactly.
at that.
I want a pair. I won't lie.
Windows
I just don't
or
want to pay
Mac?
$100 a month, and I can't even buy it if I
Well,
want it.
it's not $100 a month. It's $1,200 because you have to sign up for a 12-month commitment.
Okay. We're permitted by law.
I'm sure that's everywhere. That means the United States for sure, dude. You look at the interest rate you can put on a credit card. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, dude, those things sound so cool.
I am so
I remember when
stoked.
they came out. They came out right around the time of Orion's announcement, and Orion just dwarfed them.
Oh my god, I want them.
Yeah, if they could sell them, they would be bigger news, I'm sure.
Well, it's
Well, they could
crazy
sell 'em
because
if they did sell 'em.
Orion was pretty big news, and it's like this is crazy because by the time Orion, releases, and
They're going to be already so far ahead.
it's going to be that
Yeah.
neck and neck.
We're in an AR battle, yes.
Oh, this is amazing that this is going down in real time.
The worst thing about Snap Spectacles is that you have to apply to get into them, and then the monthly subscription.
Oh my god!
Yes, it is everything we wanted with the Ray-Bans.
Browse web
yes,
results.
Yes.
Generate 3D assets.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I don't know why they don't sell them to the public yet. It kills me.
Do I know anyone who works here?
Right?
That's not even funny, dude.
But I'm interested in them. I mean, like, again, they don't get the attention they deserve just off the fact that they're doing it.
How much?
Dude, you're getting me you're so funny.
Dude, if you're gonna get these and you get a subscription for $1,200 a year, unless you're a student, it's $600. And I'm looking at the shit, and
But
it's
they're
like
all-
if you put a Vision Pro on all these people's faces, it's all what's the difference?
Oh, yeah, this is way better than a Vision Pro, in my opinion.
Look at that.
I know. All right. Let's wrap this
So-
up. But huge props. I mean, Snap Spectacles is not old news. Like, it's not like it just came out, but this update is really cool with the navigator, ends with AR, capitalized. And I don't think Snap Spectacles get the attention they deserve. They're
Not at
definitely
all.
not trendy looking. Like, those are pretty ugly, but they're cool. Like, they do
Listen,
it. They do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking. I mean, the reason why we didn't try Orion glasses is because they're not pretty.
That's not why we didn't try them.
Well, not functionable either. Right?
People got to try them. If somebody
No,
walked up
some
to us,
people got
if
to
somebody
try 'em.
offered us to try Orions, I would have been up in there.
The only thing I heard is they're not as big as you would have thought,
Like those look
Or they're
pretty
not as
huge.
heavy.
Those Snap Spectacles,
but they're
look-
working. Orion's
Yeah.
behind a showcase,
I know.
and I'm pretty stoked for Orion. But these two are going to run neck and neck. dude.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to know what it would cost to.
This is where Snapchat throws all their money that they make off of Snapchat. This type of research into lenses, filters, and hardware like this.
Why subscription
And why only developers?
and students? Educators, not
But
students.
look, maybe
teachers.
they're planning for like a 2026 launch, and they just want 100 apps on the store at launch or something. So they're getting the apps and the developer. But they're making the developers pay $100 a month to launch an app on your store or
No,
whatever.
they're not making them. They're just saying this is what it's going
Yeah.
to cost to work.
It's such a crazy investment.
I'm in it. I'm in. I don't want to pay $1,200 a month.
You
but-
look almost bummed that we haven't talked about this more previously. You're like,
Yeah,
how are we
'cause-
just talking about this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It doesn't. It shouldn't be just us though. It
Yeah.
should be a lot of people talking about
They
it,
deserve
or
more-
having
more
it in their
attention.
hands and saying like factually, like, no, man, these things for where we're at today are pretty damn good.
Well, look at us. We did a long episode, so let's wrap this baby up.
Yep.
Let's go over our upcoming games through the rest of March and November. March and November. Through the rest of March and April.
You can just take March. I'll take April.
Okay. Especially because
It doesn't matter.
some of those are...
Or we can go vice versa.
No, let's do
Um,
this. I'll kick it off. I got my coffee going. I'm ready. So, coming in March through the end of March, we have Boxed Out coming March 24th to the MetaQuest. Then we also have Underdogs coming March 25th to PlayStation VR 2. So excited for the Sony players, for the PlayStation players to get to experience peak mech violence, brata, with Underdogs. That's so awesome to see. Hitman World of Assassination, which I'm hearing great things about, comes March 27th to PC VR and PlayStation VR 2. The Living Remain comes March 27th to PC VR and Quest. Train Sim World New York. Know how hyped you are for that. Comes March 27th to the MetaQuest. Maybe my most anticipated release of the year so far was mine of last year, but it never came. Wanderer, The Fragments of Fate. Cannot wait to get my hands on that. Comes March 27th to PSVR 2 and MetaQuest. I'm seeing some first impressions videos. A little bummed we didn't get it in that first wave, I won't lie, but let's see. Hopefully before launch in fucking 3 days we get it, but we'll see. Odds aren't looking in our favor on that end. Hellsplit Arena coming sometime in March to MetaQuest. Nyctophobia, laugh every time I say it, coming sometime in March 2025 to PC VR. Parakodo coming in March 2025 to PC VR. Premier League Player coming in March 2025 to Pico. And then also one of my favorites to say every week, Wet VR coming sometime in March 2025 to PC VR. And as always, if you hear any of us say March 25th or April 25th, we probably mean March 2025 or April 2025.
It's possible.
It happens. I think one of us do it every week.
All right. So some April releases to look forward to because it's only a couple weeks down the road, if that. Pinball FX VR, April 3rd on Quest. Stay Forever Home, April 3rd on Quest. Beatable, April 10th on Quest. Lush Foil Photography Sim, interesting. April 15th, PC VR. Ghost Town, April 24th on Quest. Excited. Secret of Antares, April 29th, PC VR. Levity Race, cool name, April 30th, PC VR. The Obsessive Shadow, April 2025, PSVR, PSVR 2. Have fun. Vertigo 2, the Aether. Is that how we pronounce it?
I struggle with that one every week.
Into the Aether?
Aether.
Vertigo 2 Into the Aether. Yeah, April 2025, PCVR, and exciting for these people that get to experience this because it is done really well. V-Rider SBK, April 2025, PCVR and PSVR 2. You'll thank me later on that one. It's just
such a good game.
For a biking game or a motorcycle game in VR, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. So we got to wrap this baby up. We got a script to record. We got some good footage to get in the books.
Got shit to do.
But I will say, it's probably news out right now. I saw Bethesda, makers of Fallout, Skyrim, rumors of an Oblivion remake coming out. They put out a tweet on Sunday, today, that we're recording, a little bit ago, saying, stay tuned, check out our Twitter tomorrow.
Okay.
So something from Bethesda coming out today.
Something
at the episode.
Today.
Yeah. Maybe it's already come out by the time you're listening to this episode, but if not, I would check Bethesda's Twitter today. X, whatever they call it. All right.
Twitter.
Thank you, whatever the kids call it these days.
I don't want Elon heat.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Stay tuned for the 2025 second annual Ruff Talk VR Gaming Showcase on Friday, April 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local time conversions for what that is for you. Stay tuned for teasers and hype coming all this next 2 weeks. And we will check you out later this week. Ciao, ciao.